and you see the Kobe Bryants and the LeBron James, where they are so invested in their children's lives. They are so invested in their children's progression. All fathers aren't like that. What's up, y'all? So I just want to address things as they come. What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is B Octavia. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Washington, D.C. I wanted to tell y'all that the relaunch of Crush on You Beauty is happening this week. I don't know what day this video gonna be out, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but by Wednesday everything will be out. The site will be relaunched and y'all can shop with me. Like, I have so much dropping. I have skincare dropping and I have cosmetics dropping, so go check out the site. Today's video, I want to talk about, this will be another Dr. Dre video, but we will be talking about the recent news of his eldest daughter coming out and basically saying that she hasn't seen her father in about 17 years. Now, I wanted to talk about this because I have a pretty toxic relationship, or whatever you want to call it, with my own father. So I feel like I have a good viewpoint on a relationship with your father that isn't how you want it to be. But I want to tell y'all basically what she was talking about in this article, and I want to share my views with you guys. I want to share what I think. So, we previously talked about Dr. Dre on this channel. I did 2 videos, which both of them got demonetized, let me say. But it don't even really matter because my point was made, and I kind of figured that that was going to happen because he don't want nobody to negatively talk about him. I guess he don't want nobody to talk about his faults or his past. So that's really what that spoke to for me. So his eldest daughter, she is 37 years old, and her name is LaTanya Young. So she has 2 other sisters that are his children as well, and she is speaking on behalf of those sisters as well. This is his eldest daughter, and she opened up about her estranged relationship with Dr. Dre, her father. She also shared that she struggled financially mostly all of her life. But with that being said, all she wants is a relationship with her father. She tells the Daily Mail, "Money is not what I want." She admits to falling on tough times, which, you know, is a very courageous thing to come out and say, especially with Dr. Dre being your father and people not expecting you to ever fall on tough times with such a rich father. She recently applied to be a FedEx driver, which, you know, regardless of who your father is, who your mother is, who your family is, you gotta do what you need to do for you, you know. She says, "I was on assistance for a while," which is embarrassing, and it's not embarrassing. But like I said, in her eyes, it may be embarrassing for her to mention that she is now on assistance at all. It may be embarrassing in her perspective, but everybody need help now and then, so it's not embarrassing. Like, if I'm the public, it's not embarrassing for me to hear you say that. She says that he did offer to help her with tuition when she was in college, but he never speaks to her. So maybe it's like a messenger, you know, somebody that's on his team or something that says, you know, he'll help you with tuition if you need it, but that fell through as well. So she says that he never set her up to not need him, you know, because she never had help. Her mother never had help with those 3 children that were his. He never paid for college, so he never helped with tuition or paid for it in total, which he never did anything to help me and my sisters get along, which is very unfortunate. I wish that, but you can't say that for everybody, but I do wish that she had the courage to say this earlier, because like around that time, because if he wouldn't have helped, somebody would have, you know. I really just want to have closure, but she also says that I just want to be able to spend time with my father. Now, I want to quote her on something else, and then I want to give y'all my thoughts. Now, she says, I thought that once Nicole was out of the picture, that things would get better. She said that she thought that her dad would come around once this divorce was happening. She also says that she would like him to make her feel like a daughter. Now, I want to share my thoughts on this because I don't want to burst her bubble in any type of way, but this is my thing, and this is like a common misconception once a man marries a woman, especially it not being your mother. Let's just say that it wasn't Nicole getting in the way of him being a father. Maybe it was him not wanting to be a father to you and your sisters. You want him to make you feel like a daughter, and I really don't think that that's ever going to happen. It's not going to happen the way that you want it to, because he left out of your life at such a young age. And you see the Kobe Bryants and, you know, the LeBron James, where they are so invested in their children's lives. They are so invested in their children's progression. All fathers aren't like that. It would hurt me even more if my father had money and he didn't at least want to, you know, sprinkle the money where it needs to be in my life. I truly don't think it was Nicole getting in the way of him being a father. I think it's him. He was getting in his own way. And after a man or woman steps out of children that are their, you know, children, they step out of their lives and they go on about their lives, they are never going to take that responsibility, especially the way that the child, who is grown now, wants them to. I've seen it so many times, and I feel like with myself, I've had to come to terms with our relationship, me and my father, never being as healthy as I wanted to be, never being as honest as I wanted to be, and never being just like what you would want to see and what you would want to hear as far as a relationship and a bond between a father and a daughter. It's never going to be like that, and I've came to terms with that now. I feel so bad for her because she is at an age where she's almost 40 and she still yearns for a relationship with her father, and I really don't think that it will ever be, because it's so many levels of hurt and layers of pain that you would really have to sweep under the rug and throw to the wayside in order to be in his presence. I feel like maybe he is ashamed, and it's to a point where it's like, I can't fix this, I'm not going to fix this, it is what it is. He also might have started over, you know, and treated his kids with Nicole Young a lot better because he was there. But who's to really say? Who's to really say that Nicole Young and her children with Dr. Dre were treated any better because they were around him? You gotta know the man that he is, and you gotta know what type of father he is. Say he comes back in your life and you want that fatherly role from him, and he lets you down even more because it's not at all what you expected it to be. He could have came back in your life at the age of 13, 14, or maybe 20, 21. Who's to say that he wouldn't have disappointed you more by being there versus him not being there? And that's what I want a lot of young women and young men to know. You can yearn for a relationship with an absentee parent. You can yearn for that, right? You can want that so desperately, but you have to be prepared that if you get that, it can hurt you even more than not having it at all. I have siblings that wasn't around necessarily, and honestly, I feel like they had it better than me. You can't want it how I had it, because if I tell you my experience, you would be lucky to have yours. She said that I hated going through third parties. She hated having to visit him at the recording studio and go through so many people and things like that. And if it overwhelmed you, and if you truly dreaded the process, that would be the process that you would have to go through moving forward if you want that relationship. That's what you would have to go through. And if you don't want to put yourself through that, then don't put yourself through that. Closure to me means if he walked away so many years ago, you can't want the relationship first. He walked away. He walked away from you. So you initiating it, you can. But if you initiate it, it means that he still doesn't want it the way that you do. I'm not willing to do that in my own situation. I'm not willing to get disrespected anymore. I'm not willing to be talked down to, because I can do the same thing. I'm not willing to be demeaned. I'm not willing to keep a relationship in my life, regardless of who it is, if it's a level of toxicity that has been constant and consistent. I'm not doing it. So closure to me means just letting it all go and moving forward with my life. I'm not going to sit up here and dwell on what was not given to me and what I didn't have, because I have a child. So what was not given to me, whether that be opportunities, love, time spent, etc., I'm going to give that to my child. So that's really how it's supposed to work. That's closure. You don't need shit from him. You don't need emotional support, because he's not going to give it to you. You don't need financial support, because it's not going to come the way that you want. It's going to come with so many terms and conditions. He might even make you pay it back, like a stranger off the street or something. He's gave numerous people opportunities, including that boy that went viral. Work with him in the studio. He's working with the youth now, but what about his youth? What about his spawn? What about his children? See, a lot of people don't need to ignore things like that because of the accolades that he has, because his character speaks louder. And that's the thing about R. Kelly too. Now, they are two different men, and they've done totally different things, but he's let down his children too. Speaking on R. Kelly, right? Can't ignore that. That's a character trait that you can't ignore. That's a character flaw that I can't ignore, and I won't ignore. Now, I hope that Dr. Dre's eldest daughter and the two other sisters, I hope that they come to peace with knowing that he'll never be the father that you want him to be. And that's just the reality of it. He's never stepped up, and he never will. Y'all are older now, and it is sad that y'all haven't come to terms with it, but hopefully that happens after, you know, this story comes out, it came out, and it just dies down. It's just gonna die down. He's not going to, after this comes out, he's not going to reach out. He might cease and desist you. He might silence you. And that be the only money that you get. And you can learn a lot from that. You definitely can. So I hope that with this experience and them finally having the courage to speak their truth and to speak the truth of their mother as well, that they find strength, that they find closure. Because we all need to. I would hate to still want a certain type of relationship with my father, knowing how it is now, and I still want that type of relationship, or, you know, a better type of relationship in my 30s. I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm good. He has to come to terms with his actions as a young adult, having children and leaving them. You know, all parents have to come to terms with the mistakes that they've made as parents. So his time will come, hopefully sooner than later. It's your girl, B. Octavia, and I will see y'all in my next video. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in my next one.